Hello guys, on today's video I'm going to tell a funny history that happened to me a few days ago. And some days ago I spent the whole day at college. So I spent the whole day studying. So I got really tired and when I get home I was with that headache. So I just wanted to rest and I just wasn't in the mood. So when I arrived home, I noticed that across the street from my house, the city cleaners cut down a tree, a whole tree, like a lot of trees. So, and they left out the branches and like a pile of branches across my house street. And for me, that was no big deal. For me, it was normal, like nothing unusual about it. So I just keep my life. I got home and I get some rest. But when my dad got home and he saw all those branches on the sidewalk, he had an idea on his thinkings about like uh, there is the all that pine of branches across our street, and he thought, why not cut our trees and put it with those that already was there, because according to him, someone would eventually come and take everything away. So he think and have that idea, and there I went to cut trees and taking it across the street with him and all the branches of our tree that already had some branches that we cut in the past. So there's a lot of things to carry. So I keep like for 4 p.m. To 7 p.m. Cutting and carrying trees. And the fun thing that was that I crossed the streets tons of time with like a lot of branches of tree, and I threw it in the pinole that I already had there. And it was just funny that I always cross the street and there is a lot of cars or people passing through it. And it was just funny and unusual for the people that was seeing seen like that. And everything was going fine until my dad, who was on the top of the tree, accidentally dropped the hacksaw, like the one that was cutting the wood, right in the middle of the pile of branches. So I went there to look for it, but I wasn't able to find it. Then he shot me to stop looking for it, that he was going to come there and come down, and he was himself, he was going to find the hacksaw. So I just uh, came back doing what I was doing. That was carrying out the branches across the street. And everything was going normal. I kept taking the branches and throwing them across the street. But suddenly, I heard my dad screaming, Thiago, I can't believe you threw away my hacksaw. And what happened was that, without even notice, while I was taking out the branches outside across my street, my dead hacksaw was still in the middle of the pile. So there I went again, crossing the street to look for that God's sake hacksaw. And honestly, how was in my defense, how I was supposed to know that he hadn't taken it to a safe spot, that is the hacksaw still was in the middle of the pile of branches. So I spent about a half an hour taking everything that I had already thrown away from the pile of the branches, and I stayed looking for it, but I look, and I already was losing my hope, and I keep trying to find that hacksaw. And after some time, I just lost hope. I until I have the idea about, I don't know, land some metal detector and look for that hacksaw. But I just lost hope and stopped looking for it. Meanwhile, this, my dad kept complaining, like that hacksaw was the best hacksaw I ever had. I had it for a long time. I just can't believe you did it. Um, I I just uh, don't believe. It is unbelievable. He was like that. So I went back doing what I was doing, carrying the branches, which I was almost finishing the pile of branches. Suddenly, I noticed a different branch. It was heavier and looked strange. When I picked it up, there it was, the hawk saw. And my dad had blamed me for losing it, but he never took it out of the pile after it, like when it fell from the tree in the start that I told you. He didn't even look for it and just he started blaming me for throwing it away. So I told him that I found it. He still said some words. He keep complaining, but um, uh, I found it, so problem was solved, and he didn't believe me at first that he I really the hacksaw really was there, but in the end he just laughed about the whole situation and keep carrying out the branches. And in the end of the night, come a truck and throw all the branches away. So on the next day, across the streets already was everything clean and everything went to the normal. So today's lesson is don't blame someone else for something that might be your own mistake. Like, how would I even know that the hacksaw still was there? So, same that uh, I had really thrown the hacksaw away, it wouldn't be exactly my fault. How could I imagine that it was there? So he should put it somewhere safe. But that's it. That's today's story. I hope that you enjoy it. History about me and my dad. That's it. See you guys. Take care. Bye bye.